What is up, wrestling fans? Welcome to a special Fannounce Table edition of the Smark Out Moment Smack Talk podcast. I'm your host, as always, Tony Mango, joined as always by Callum Wiggins.
Hello.
And Robert DeFelice.
Hello.
And today we are going to be watching WWF In Your House Bad Blood. Extra D on that. Emphasis on the D. We are kind of revisiting something that we had already done before on a previous Fannounce Table, but it was something like 2016 or so. Wago and I had done the In Your House Bad Blood Hell in a Cell match, the finale of this pay-per-view. And we did that just by itself. We didn't do the rest of the pay-per-view. But since Bad Blood is returning and WWE has that coming up on October 5th, I think it is, that is something that I figured we'd revisit in some way. And while brainstorming a bunch of different topic ideas, it came up as just, why don't we just watch the old Bad Blood? So it's been a while since we've done a Fannounce Table in general. I think the last one probably would have been Money in the Bank. And it's been a even longer time frame since we've done a full watch along of something. So it still works the same as we've always done. It's the same thing as the fan tracks over on Fanboys Anonymous, which of course, if you don't know what Fanboys Anonymous is, go to fanboysanonymous.com, same kind of thing, but that's for movies and TV shows and such. And it is the same setup where we cannot provide you the video. We don't want to do any kind of copyright infringement like that. And instead, what we are going to do is we're going to give you a countdown of 3, 2, 1, play. And when I say play, you hit play on whether it is the Peacock stream or the WWE network stream. Maybe you have an old VHS tape that you want to break out, or a DVD or a Blu-ray or whatever it might be. Or maybe you're on like Daily Motion or something. I'm not going to tell you what to do. But the setup is pretty simple. That's all it is. And then you watch it with us and, we kind of shoot the shit and talk about what we want to talk about. We react to this. It's been a long time since I've seen this. This was from October. This is also October 5th. So there you go. October 5th, 1997 at the Kiel Center in St. Louis, Missouri. I did not watch this live. I don't remember. If I did, I don't remember watching it live. But I do remember seeing footage of Kane for the first time and being like, oh, holy shit, it's Kane and all. We're going to kind of revisit some of those memories or, visit them for the first time or something. And I'm actually going to switch my graphic around in a moment. But before I do that, I want to remind everybody that as we talk and we give our opinions and reactions and all that stuff, you can do the same in the Discord server. You can leave comments on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube itself, of course. If you are there on YouTube, make sure that you are subscribed, ring that notification bell, get your email alerts set up. Thought about doing this as a live thing, but we're doing it at like 2:50 p.m. on a Tuesday. So how many people are going to be able to join that? But also there is the join button. Get access to the same stuff as the Patreon, like the Darkcast tier, the Pick a Poison tier. Even $1 a month helps out considerably. And on top of that, whenever we do things that we record in advance, then you'll be able to get early access to that. And if you want to pick up merchandise, Redbubble and TeePublic is where you can pick that up. So I'm going to switch my graphic over here now because my timer code was not working correctly. So we're going to, let's see, graphic 2 and timer code 2. And again, it'll end up moving like that on the screen. I was just double checking to see if that was going to work okay. And it is. Yeah, so I am set. Rob, you good?
Yep.
Callum, you good?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Callum's going to be watching on the network. That means there might be a slight difference. I'm going to actually, because the network doesn't have any kind of commercial breaks at all, correct?
They don't even do the fade to black.
As far as I'm aware, yeah.
Yeah, they don't do that like fade to black for like a 3-second thing. So when we have that fade to black, I don't know how many times it's going to pop up during this. I'm going to say it out loud just in case if you are watching on the network. Or I guess in the future, if they switch from Peacock to some other kind of service or something, because now they're doing that, then you can kind of pause. And then I'll say like, now we're back or something. That way we're, it's not one of those things where anybody that's looking at the synced up time code is like, wait a minute, they just did this move and it takes them 15 seconds before they get to reacting to it or something. So we'll do that. I'll give you some little things here and there throughout of like, we're kind of at this spot. And it's pretty simple. So I have all my stuff ready to go. And we are all set. So remember, everybody, 3, 2, 1, play. When I say play, you hit play. That's what we're going to do now. 3, 2, 1, play. Obviously, we should be starting at 0, 0, 0, 0, all that stuff. So, and don't skip the intro. Not only because that won't sync you up, but it's also because this is one of my more favorite intros.
I like this one. It's not one that sticks out to me, but I like it.
It's not my go-to. The version of this that has that like kind of song is the one that I like better, but I think it's simple, works. Speaking of one of my favorites of all time, Shawn Michaels.
This is the best narrator.
What to do?
I do love this chair shot to the Undertaker. You can just see him blading.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I mean, now knowing what we know about CTA and stuff, I don't wish this upon people, but I do miss the era of brutal chair shots to the head in that capacity. I forget, is this the intro that has that song that goes like ba 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 da da?
Yeah, you're about to hear it.
Love that. Which I think...
Again, best narrator.
It's called either Native Son or Bluebeard. Yeah.
It is one of the pirate themed ones.
Warner Chappell production music, shout out to them. Great music. Yeah, I'm a fucking nerd. I get it. I mean, you put my two favorites of all time in the ring together, and then you put one of my other favorites of all time making a debut, like, and then it's the Hell in a Cell thing. This was like peak, oh my god, can wrestling get any cooler than this? For me at one point.
This is the theme music that would eventually be used by Draws, I believe.
A lot of this is very similar, because it sounds a little bit like the Brawl for All music to me too.
That might be what it is.
It might be either the same track but slightly different, or it might be like just very, very similar. What makes you think that they why they brought back Bad Blood? Was it just a matter of them looking at like, it's, you know, it's been however many years? Do you think that they, like, Triple H was just like, I really liked that?
Triple H headlines every Bad Blood. I think he likes the connotation of Bad Blood in Hell in a Cell. American men don't wear pink.
WCW, where the big boys play with themselves.
That's funny.
That's a good way to start this off, right? Vince McMahon belongs in a cell after what's been going on lately.
I mean, well, now, yes.
So I haven't bothered to look at the card ahead of time. I'm going to be surprised about this as we go along here.
Yeah, I know some things, but I don't remember too much of what's on this card. Did he just mention Pillman dying? Oh, that's terrible. Like, what a weird... Jesus.
It's just certainly Ken Shamrock was injured.
Yeah, like...
I always like the Nation of Domination. Always like Ken Shamrock, too.
I think in another era, Shamrock is world champion.
You give that 2 world titles thing, like we've talked about before, I think Shamrock wins one of them. Yeah. Probably the SmackDown one. Oh, we got LOD, okay. So this is LOD, not LOD 2000 yet, right?
No,
that's also 98. Yeah.
I knew that was before 2000, but I wasn't sure when they started.
It's WrestleMania 14, they get repackaged.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which I liked one aspect of LOD 2000.
I think you mean you like 2.
Yeah. I liked a couple of different assets, I should say. And by that, I mean the spiked shoulder pads.
Yeah, of course.
Shout out to Sunny. Hope she's on this pay-per-view.
She's also in a cell.
They are American originals. Why did we need to have that? They're going up against the Nation of Domination. It's not like they're going against the Hart Foundation.
Well, yeah. Like,
they're different and supposedly therefore non-American.
Who are they going to team with?
Nation of Abomination. Well, you got some serious problems if you're spitting up black gunk.
Or just a tobacco problem.
Is this just going to be a handicap match?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks like it's 3-on-2.
All right.
Yeah, that's
pretty.
I wonder why they wouldn't have thrown another person in there.
It was playing
Well, probably because Ken Shamrock shows up at some point. That's what I'm predicting. I've not seen this show besides the Hell in a Cell match, so like I don't know what happens. But that's what I would predict was going to happen.
At least in the modern era.
That's the like,
WWF
20 plus years of watching. Well, it's 20 plus years of watching wrestling. So like, as soon as they say, "Hey, this guy's injured and he's not going to be appearing this match, we're going to have a handicap match," like, oh, he's going to show up in about 10 minutes time, and
it isn't in your house though.
At this point,
so it could just be the in your house. Like, well, it's still good enough. You're going to get a handicap match, and that's going to be the reasoning why LOD loses is because it was 3-on-2, and then we'll, tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw, Ken Shamrock will come back and send The Rock running or something. Never made any sense to me why the Road Warriors were Hawk and Animal, as if Hawk is not an animal.
Well, it's like the gang name Animal shows is just Animal.
And like Animal always has that spider on its head, so it's like, wouldn't they be Hawk and Spider?
Well, yes, but they didn't come up with the spider until later.
Yeah. They're like, maybe you should put some kind of an animal on you. And he's like, I know, a hawk. Shit. Never mind.
I had an action figure of The Rock with this exact.
Yep, I had that one too. That bone crunching action thing.
I'm gonna buy all of them one day, and I'll blame
Crunch the bones.
Hawkins and Ryder. I'll blame Hawkins and Ryder because they've inspired me to do that.
Yeah, that was my my only Rock figure. Stopped playing with the action figures and all by the time that they would have created another one.
As childish as I can be with numerous things, I just like stopped playing with action figures at 9 and never picked again.
Action figures were great. I missed that era of being able to take my my duplicates and making them like clones and stuff. You should probably do it more than once if you want to get the crowd to chant.
Well, I think they thought they would immediately go for it.
That's why he had that dumbfounded look on his face. Hey, it didn't work.
Oh, they got there. See? St. Louis is just a little slow.
It'd be great if he just had the foresight. He's like, his cousins and everything, the bloodline. We'll talk about that in another 30 years.
Forever.
I always thought it was funny that if you put LOD, if you put their heads together, they make one normal haircut.
Hold on, Callum, that grunt, was that because you saw another side headlock?
No, it was how bad those chops were.
Ah.
but it barely grazed him on his shoulder.
Oh, don't you know the chops that barely graze you are the ones that hurt the most?
They're working, brother. Like, that's what I find when I go back and watch these now. I'm like, oh my god, they barely did anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're not really laying it in, are they?
No, they're really like working, where it's like, don't you see that I'm stomping the ground to make the noise? Like,
that's like the general rule of thumb. The further back you go in pro wrestling, the less that people move. And that's why you get to like that Bob Backlund era where people are like, they're barely even walking.
Well, Backlund would have hit you.
Oh, no, Sally. Where's the storytelling?
Enziguri
by Hawk, which is not something I expected to see.
Always liked the Enziguri. Specifically, I always liked Owen Hart's because they did such a good job in making it seem like, oh, he's got a really good one, you know, with that Shawn Michaels angle.
Did you notice that he went to tag Animal and Animal was just like, put him in a chin lock?
Yeah. Vince right now listening to Jim Ross mentioning other companies is probably twitching.
Oh, we're going to see more of that later. That I know is on this show.
Wait, what did he just call him? Comma what?
Bin.
Comma bin Mustafa? I don't remember that.
I'd never.
That's fucking weird. It was comma, just comma, because it was kick any man's ass.
And then it was comma Mustafa.
Can comma Mustafa? Where's the bin come in there?
That's weird.
Comma bin Mustafa. Let me Google this. I'm not even seeing this on like the internet.
No, I think he just said something out loud. It was like, all right, go with it.
Well, there is a thing.
He just saw someone in that get up and then just thought, I'll go add the word bin in there.
I am seeing more of this if I put it in quotation marks. There's a thing, freaking awesome network forums where somebody's like, comma was originally called comma bin Mustafa. Here's a marked out forum where somebody says Faarooq announced him as comma bin Mustafa.
Well, to be fair, like, if anyone would know, it'd be Vince because he probably named him. So
yeah. He probably wanted it to be comma bin Mustafa because it would sound more like fitting with the Nation of Domination thing, and then it was like, I don't want to fucking say bin. Yeah.
And this is when, like, Faarooq was relaunching the Nation, and just straight up like, it's gonna be a blacker nation.
Yeah.
They got rid of Savio, who did his own like Puerto Rican group.
Los Boricuas.
Crushed
terrible
his own
group.
Biker / skinhead group.
DOA, terrible group. Nation of Domination's a weird faction because, like, if you say to me, Nation of Domination, what are you picturing? I picture this version, and I throw in Mark Henry. But it is weird that it's like the Wolfie D stuff, and like Owen Hart is in it at one point and all. Like,
that's what I mostly think of when I think of the Nation of Domination. I think of the original, where it's just them against Ahmed Johnson for like 5 years. I never liked it when they shortened it to just the Nation.
No.
And that's when they added like Owen and all that. I never thought that was needed. I mean, obviously speaking in retrospect, I was too young here to care about that.
I remember being very confused as a dumb, ignorant American kid that the Nation of Domination's costumes and ring gear, I thought that it was supposed to be like tire treads. And I was just like, oh, that's a weird like pattern for that. And like, it didn't make any sense. And then
that
eventually,
might have been the most hysterical bump I've ever seen in my life.
Eventually, I was just kind of like, oh, wait, not only is it not tire treads, but it's not even like remotely supposed to be a pattern like that. And yeah, then it clicked a little bit more. No head bobs from D'Lo.
And by the way, Faarooq's not out here because he's in the finals of an IC title tournament against Owen Hart later in the show.
Look at all the WWF logos. It's on the screen in the bottom left. There's 3 on the apron, and then there's one on every turnbuckle, and then there's one on the big sign that's hanging above the arena.
Well, just WWF,
WWF. Yep.
They've just added more logos.
Well, now those WWF logos would be some kind of like Mike's Hard Lemonade or something.
Oh, wow, Kama stepping over the ropes like a big man.
I always look at the crowd in these and see like the difference between how these events from like the 80s and the 90s, it just kind of seems like everybody looks older. Like there's people that are in the crowd here that look like they're like, I don't know, mid 50s. Wonder if Vladimir's in the crowd.
For St. Louis, probably not.
I know he was predominantly New York, but
I mean, I know he would travel to Mania.
Yeah.
The question becomes, was Hell in a Cell exciting enough to make him...
Was it Vladimir worthy?
Like, yeah, was it like... Nobody knew what this match was going to be. You know, people were like, okay, blue bar cage with roof? Maybe?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, I don't distinctly remember, like, 100% what I had felt around that time frame, but I do remember being confused that, like, what do you mean there's going to be a roof on the cage? And thinking that it was going to be the blue regular steel cage.
I guess they showed bits and pieces that it was at least going to be steel. Like, it was at least going to be the mesh, but
at that point,
yeah,
the mesh wasn't a regular thing, so...
Right.
Oh my God, Animal.
That wouldn't be until like 99-ish, I think.
I know that one of the main reasons why they forego the blue and, you know, at one point it was like black bars is because that was like harder and, you know, more dangerous. But there is a part of me that kind of wishes that they would just do an old school cage match at one point just for the sake of it and bring back that old blue bar cage and be like, all right, the gimmick is like we're going with that old school one. I mean, shit, if we could have a Punjabi prison, we can have a blue bar cage. There's Faarooq. As if the Nation of Domination needs a fourth person to beat LOD.
Well, you can't beat the LOD. No call for the rock bottom. That's how new it is.
That is just, what's this? This must have been one of the first times he was doing it.
Why'd you got a leather strap? I will say the people popped for that Hawk. Just a flurry of offense there.
Yeah, you'll get that Road Warrior pop.
Gotta love it.
That's pretty dull.
Yeah.
Well, that heat segment lasted like 5 years. So like...
Lawler's great.
What did he say?
He was making fun of Animal, and he's like, long on hair, short on brains, that makes you a loser.
How awful that kick is.
We're working, brother.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my god, Hulk's
He's going to abduct this kid right beforehand.
Oh, Doc Hendricks, right?
Doot.
I think he shaved here because he's just like, I'm growing this thing back in full. Fuck you. By the way, he's like younger here than probably Finn Balor is today.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
What's the point playing this music over the top and then talking?
Big fan of this era of Sunny. And we're on Black, and now we're back.
Oh God, again?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Look at him trying to feign like upset.
It is
he's probably
weird.
just upset. He's probably just upset that he's not made his booking. Show must go on.
Watch this. Watch what they replace it with.
Who are they replacing it with? This is going to be like...
No, this can't be minis. Oh my god, it's minis.
Oh my god, come on, really? I was going to say, is it Aldo Montoya? Because I couldn't recognize the... Who are they?
Oh god, guys, someone died. Bring out the midgets.
What are the names of these two? They're not popping up on the screen. Mosaic and... Oh, wait, there you go. Tarantula and Mosaic.
So, knowing what we know now about Owen's death and how the show continued, is the crowd even aware that Pillman's dead?
Probably not.
Like,
no, because they can't hear anything on the free-for-all. And there's no internet. They're not on phones, you know?
So the next show is on Raw is when he interviews Pillman's wife.
Yeah, when he interviews Melanie, yeah. I have no idea. That's insane.
No. Max Mini and Nova is his name? I mean, I only remember Max Mini.
Yeah. Well, Max Mini's actually, like, fun. And he was getting pushed a little heavier.
Yeah, a little heavier. Come on.
That's not what I... No. Oh, God.
It was a short push. Lawler's probably great on commentary here.
We're going to get a bunch of short jokes for the next 5 minutes. Oh God!
How tall was Max Mini?
4'9".
I could
really good.
I'm always saying with like pretty certainty here that this is going to be the most exciting match until the main event.
Yeah, you're probably right. Because that opening kick from Nova was actually really good.
Jesus. Oh,
man.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I can imagine Vince's direction for the minis division was just, you better be flipping like fucking crazy. I don't want you to see you do anything but flipping. If you're going to punch, flip, you know?
Yeah, you're right,
Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, this is fun. I mean, to be fair, like, it's clear that this is like obviously a Vince thing because he brought back the minis division
in 2005.
Yeah, in 2005 on SmackDown.
With Max Mini, he just had a different name at that point.
Oh, look at this. We're in AEW rules. The tag team division.
I think, jokes aside, I think they just take a lot of what they do from the whole Mexican idea of...
Oh, totally.
Not needing to tag in and out.
Yeah, essentially it's like you just slide under the ropes and then that counts as the tag, so...
You know, this is something that's never popped up in my head. We've never done a fantasy booking mock draft type thing in any fashion where any of us have ever gotten one of the minis, have we?
I don't know if we've ever needed to.
I've got Dink in a draft before.
Oh, maybe Dink would be the only one.
Yeah.
Or like sleazy, queasy, and cheesy for that Survivor Series
thing. Series, yeah.
Oh my god!
But I don't think we've ever booked Max Mini on anything. I wouldn't have even remembered Tarantula and Mosaic and all.
This is legitimately a very fun match to watch.
Yeah. These guys are like, they know what they're doing. They're just flipping about all over the place and just hitting her.
Jokes about modern stature of wrestlers aside, do they still do this? And like, do they still have?
I was still big in Mexico. Like Mascara Dorada is like a huge deal in Mexico still. He had like he was big in Lucha Underground as well.
Yes, that I do remember. We should do this. We should get this again. This is fun.
All right, fantasy booking. Who would you put against Max Mini in his prime if you could pick anybody right now?
Any wrestler?
Braun Strowman.
Hologram.
Bronson Reed.
I mean, I'm not trying to get the little guy crushed.
Lance Archer. Like, yeah.
I'd probably pick someone that could actually do flips and stuff with them.
Yeah, that's why I said hologram. Like,
I'd probably go Dominic Mysterio.
That would be fun. Like Dominic against Max Mini and like a mask versus hair. That'd be like...
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
This Kyoto got to get down on his knee. Yeah. Really? I've had bigger sandwiches.
Did he say the Godwinns probably had bigger sandwiches in their back pocket? Good lord.
Just random kick to the back.
Yeah, okay, so they're not aware of like American rules, it seems.
Nah.
It gets confused with the number of individuals in the ring at any one time. To be fair, like they both count as one. Well, they both count as one person. So.
I am the table.
Lawler is really excited about this.
Lawler loves the minis division.
They have Santana's on commentary.
Yeah, he did that for a while.
I did kind of like this trio on commentary. They were kind of fun. Yeah, why were we just filming him walking around and nothing in the ring?
I think there was supposed to be something more to that, but
Vince is definitely just like, I'm confused.
Yeah.
This is so like the only person Vince cares about appealing to is the literal lowest common denominator who wouldn't understand a thing.
Yeah, didn't quite get all the arm drag. I mean, didn't get any of it, but okay. And that's exactly what happens when you get kicked, is you fall sideways. I love that he's like, dose.
Yeah.
See, like, I mean, I'd say the bits and pieces they're doing are entertaining, but I imagine this is what a lot of people think Will Ospreay matches are like. Just a load of moves just happening, no real rhyme or sequence.
Yeah, I do think.
But then you watch a match like this and realize, oh yeah, this isn't what Will Ospreay does. He puts matches together properly. There's this, like, fun spots here and there, but they're literally just going like no really like momentum one side or the other. They're just doing things to the sake of doing them.
I think that's because that's the majority of what a lot of that style is like. And then what separates a better performer, it's when they are able to actually put a sequence together that makes a little bit more sense and has a little bit more story to it. But then you look at the guys that are just like flipping around, and then you're like, all right, if you do it similarly, then you just seem like they're all doing it.
All right, like this is a fun little sprint, but a guy died, and that was their
right.
that was their no attention to the dead guy.
Young Ray Rougeau.
That's that kid. Who knows where he is today?
He's the owner of a hedge fund or something.
He could be.
All right, we're faded to black, and we are back now with Stone Cold Steve Austin. And you can't walk his walk.
But you can wear his t-shirt. I was right, okay?
Yep. Had this t-shirt. One of my more favorite t-shirts that I wore out like crazy.
I mean, that's an iconic shirt. Like,
yeah.
But make sure you get that extra large in.
Those are the only ones you're going to find on eBay. You'll
really?
never find anything below an XL on eBay for these shirts. I know, I've looked.
$21,151.
Oh.
We're getting more sunny. This is great.
Has Spears
Tomas. Whoever Tomas is. I mean, 10-year-old me, how could I not have a crush on Sonny, right?
That's a weird statement to make.
Do I have a Brian Christopher?
Yeah. Hey, if Sonny marries Brian Christopher, she'll be your daughter-in-law.
And she's out here to do the announcements because...
because they have her employed and they don't know what the fuck to do with her.
I always liked her best when she was a manager. A heel manager, I'll specify. But, I mean, I liked her as a babyface manager here and there, too. But as part of, like, the Smoking Guns and all, like...
Oh, God, they're carrying a Confederate flag, considering. Seriously?
Yes, they're heels.
I mean, look at 2024. People are still ignorant as fuck. I still, to this day...
There's also a Confederate flag in this crowd.
Yeah. Well, they're in Missouri. So... to this day, the number one magazine cover thing that I think of with WWF is the Sonny Once So True, I Slopped You.
Oh my God, your tag team championship match is the Godwinns versus the Headbangers.
I'm a little shocked that the Headbangers are the champions.
For some reason, like, the Headbangers I liked at the time, but I always thought, even when I liked them, that they were pretty fucking stupid.
You're employing the Road Warriors. We just saw the Road Warriors have a match like Legion of Doom, and these are your tag team champions.
The Road Warriors will be champions by the end of this month. I'm just not sure if this is where the Godwinns win it here.
Quite funny having Tim White refereeing this like right underneath the show that would eventually end his career.
I always liked Tim White.
Wait, who's this ring?
Like Tim White.
Who's this ringside with the Godwinns?
Uncle Cletus.
Yeah.
I don't know
Uncle
him.
Cletus.
Uncle Cletus was played by Tony Anthony, better known as the Dirty White Boy in Smoky Mountain, or Tony will probably remember him for being T.L. Hopper.
Ah.
Okay, milking the invisible cow. It's a good taunt.
There was an incest joke made by Jim Ross there.
Wouldn't that have been a better spot for Sonny to do?
Maybe for those watching.
Yeah.
Ugh. Legitimately gross.
It's not quite a Mr. Perfect. All right.
Yeah. Can we actually like wrestle maybe for a bit? I don't know.
No, we're working here. We're doing the bare minimum.
Also, that little thing that the Headbangers do, that little like stomp thing, was that a thing that people did back then?
I don't think they knew what they were doing.
Because that's not headbanging, and that's not like.
I think this is what Vince thinks moshing is.
Maybe, which is just like a sort of awkward
they have
stomp.
More control over what they're doing. Like, I highly doubt Vince is like, yeah, do that thing where you're.
What do you mean?
You look like you're stomping.
This is this is like the same guy that we saw like in a very close time to this. Just say someone, he's gonna puke. You gotta puke like us.
That's probably true.
He was probably probably at this point in his like time in charge, he was probably micromanaging everything outside of like what Austin or Bret Hart was doing.
Well, it's not known where that actual meeting takes place that Foley always brings up, where he's like, all right, I can't just make you guys garbage men anymore. You're gonna have to do more of your own thing.
That has to be the worst Hurricane Rana ever. Like he basically just misses him, and then Godwinn just has to do like, oh my god, what the fuck's going on?
I think you guys are like a split second ahead of me or whatever. As soon as you said, "Oh," I'm like, "Wait a minute." Oh, okay, there you go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that could have been. I mean, an inch in opposite direction or something.
Yeah, that's it's a career ender right there.
Potential life ender.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And they're gonna replay
it.
They're gonna show a replay of this.
Yeah, because he's not dead. It's not like he's Brian Pillman, and they can just move on and throw out some minis, right?
Yeah. Bring out a minion and some overalls to kind of replace him mid-match.
I love when he brings that up. Like, I don't hate the South. I was born in North Carolina. That's why you hate the South, but.
But I just can't believe that there are 20,000+ people here. Like, imagine if they're watching any modern wrestling show today, their minds would explode.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. God, if you show them wrestling from 10 years ago.
Yeah, no, it's just crazy that this was like suitable entertainment at this point. Like, I'm not surprised I see a sort of just sign ECW rules just appearing on up there just briefly.
Like, show them this tag team championship match, and then show them an NXT takeover from like Black and Gold era. Some kind of like
shit themselves. Like,
DIY AOP type thing or whatever, and they would just be like, well, this is clearly the greatest thing that's ever happened in the history of pro wrestling. And to be fair, I mean, those matches were great, but
oh yeah, absolutely, like they were great by even modern day standards, but still, but it's like
same as with the Steamboat and Macho Man. Like, everybody raves about that from WrestleMania 3, and it's like, yeah, in that era, that was like groundbreaking. But you put that exact same match there now, and people are like, this is like something that you throw on, main event.
I think that's a comparable match with the event it's on to what we're about to see at Hell in a Cell later, where people are just going to go, oh my God. Like, the new era completely. I just watched a guy fall off a cage.
Yeah. On his tongue.
Awesome Benjamin special, except the little slop hair.
Well, yeah, obviously you can't do it like the world's greatest tag team.
Now, I know that Rob is more connected to this era than Callum is, so I know Callum's response would be just like, I don't even think about them. But if you think of the Godwinns, what do you think of? Do you think of heels like this? Do you think of like...
Oh, I absolutely think of the more babyface based, even though I think this is probably better for them. I know, believe it or not, it could get worse.
You think of the more like colorful, where they had like Phineas had like the white shirt and
yeah.
By
the way, they just showed a replay of
an instant replay of some guy's tongue stud, essentially.
Because they were just like floored by the tongue ring.
Also, aren't the Headbangers the baby faces? Why are they the ones that are getting the heat on the Godwinns?
Yeah, they are the baby faces.
Because grab a hold, brother. We are just working here. Do as little as possible.
What? Also, what is this gear as well? Like, what they think this gear is? What is it supposed to represent? What is their gimmick?
Their gimmick is maybe
bizarre
goth. Like, maybe that's why they got like the plaid skirts and stuff like that. Because I think they're going for like a more goth thing, even though their like aesthetic is supposed to be metal. It's very much an amalgamation of what they think goth is. You know,
it's very Marilyn Manson.
Yeah, it's like try to be Marilyn Manson, but also, I don't know, maybe you listen to
No Doubt,
like Slayer, or they're probably listening to No Doubt in the car.
I mean, No Doubt's pretty good. Don't speak, you do. If you drove to elementary school, you might be a Godwinn. That's pretty fucking great.
Yeah, is that like the dozen people in the crowd?
Mercury tattooed on the Godwinn there?
That'd be quite funny. But I'm going to shout out to the 12 people in the crowd that are just so chanting Henry sucks.
I did always like the idea that it was Henry O. Godwinn and Phineas I. Godwinn. Like, that's some punny Tony bullshit. Hagen pig.
Yeah, you were very excited for the last monster standing, Reg.
Yeah, like that when they announced that last night, I was like, fuck yeah, last monster standing. Maybe they have a me on the writing team and they need another one. Hire me, WWE. You get more of this kind of punny stuff. Oh, and everybody, when you see the video that eventually will be recorded of the Ultimate Halloween Havoc, you're going to see so many stupid puns on those gimmick match names.
I swear to God, that's Freddie Mercury.
It looks like it.
I don't think it is.
What's he say on the right shoulder? Something O, something K.
Is it a BSK tattoo? It might be a BSK tattoo. Oh, it says redneck. Just in case you weren't clear, he's got the word redneck tattooed on him.
Oh, that's a decent move.
Yeah.
That's the finisher, right?
Henry Godwinn was like a deceptively like big dude. Like, I don't know where his size would be comparable to somebody today, but probably somebody like a like maybe a Miro.
Yeah, that probably checks out.
Now, of course, like you put him up next to like an Omos, and he's not gonna, height-wise like that, or he's not as big as like an Odyssey Jones or a Bronson Reed or something, but pretty big dude.
Other than that, by Vince saying like the only way titles can change hands is by pinfall, submission, or some other way.
Yeah.
Or some other way it's stated. Like, thank you for that information, Vince.
You can see the people in the front row, just not even clapping or anything.
Mm.
Yeah, they try to get the crowd to do it with their feet. Boy. Look. God, it's like so simple. It really does work.
Well, this stuff just can't fly today. It's just a different time when you can get away with doing quite just basic stuff like this.
I think there's some people who try to make it work. Like, I think the whole LA Knight thing is kind of akin to this, where it's like he's a much wrestler. I'm not saying he's not, but
he keeps it simple.
The whole idea of just like, I like him because he says yeah, and I get to say yeah. Like, that's very much in this vein.
Well, yeah, you have to be a great promo these days to get away with something like that. But I think, oh my god.
Oh wait, tag titles just changed hands.
Yeah. You know what's really sad is I almost reached for my mouse to be like, oh, I gotta change that.
Godwinns are in Brad Bischoff.
Wow, there's just Bischoff is gay. Still, my favorite sign that we've seen in any of these rewatches is the Jason is gay for life on that WCW thing.
Godwinns are inbred, yeah.
I still want that sign to be Jason coming out to his family.
Yeah. Which event was that?
Starrcade 97.
Starrcade 97. I gotta go back and try to find it. Do you remember what match it was that popped up?
Not a clue. Did we need that? Did that need to be a double team move where the other guy...
You double team it hurts more. Yeah, this is kind of setting up that somebody's going to come out. And
well, they are chanting LOD. I hope they give the fans what they want.
Which, if that's
that's the decision.
When's the last time that they did that?
Hold on. Is he going to reverse it? He's going to reverse the decision.
Fine.
He's going to do it. He left the ring.
Don't tell me this has all been a waste of time.
Okay, all right, that's
fair.
That's a little better. I like that.
When's the last time that they did a referee reversal?
Modern era?
Years ago, it has to be, right?
It's been a while, I'd say.
I feel like there was like a women's match a couple years ago where that happened.
I've never seen it happen for a title. Well, I probably have at some point, but I can't recall it ever happening for a title.
I never liked that stuff. Like, I never liked the whole
Roxanne Perez and Ariana Grace. Looked it up.
Yeah, like, it just so happens the referee cares about the rules for this one instance.
We're going to get some Stone Cold footage. Now we're fading
to black.
With
Stone Cold.
And we're back.
Hey, Michael Cole. Hi, Michael.
Such good friends.
Stunning JR, yeah.
The part where he did the push-ups.
This whole era was so fun.
Just so many people that sell stunners so much better than Vince does.
By the way, he's got a broken neck.
Oh yeah, because he broke it at SummerSlam, didn't he?
Yeah.
Compassionate pleas of reason.
You can't convince me that this man didn't know he was a heel. You can't convince me.
Oh god, the worst, one worst.
But the cell afterwards, where he's just looking at God, like.
Everybody knows if you fall forward like that you just start seizing.
The cop with the glasses on was getting a kick out of this.
Nowadays, these little security guard extras would be people that we would look back on and go, oh, that's actually so-and-so. Like, oh, that's MJF or something.
Wow, they just showed the stunner events 5 times. I like the stupid denim. Like, Raw is War.
Warzone Raw.
I love that. I don't know.
Look at Cole's hair and beard.
Is he about to get bullied by DX?
Probably. Oh, there's Owen.
Hey, Owen.
Look, I love Owen. He's one of my favorites of all time. Owen was never a great promo.
He was
a great character, but man,
that time in like that 94 range, he was great.
Do yours.
Nah, I'll give him a little bit of a pass here. One of his close friends did just die.
Yeah,
and was replaced on the card by Mexican minis.
They didn't add a mini to the Hart Foundation after that, did they?
Not that I know of. Well, we did see Mini Brett, but that came after Montreal.
Which, by the way, I was looking, I was like, did I spell Kiel Center wrong on my graphic for this video? But no, they spelled it wrong on the graphic on screen that they showed earlier in the night when they showed the attendance record.
By the way, PlayStation celebrating its 30th anniversary.
I missed those
January.
I missed those little blimps. They need to bring those back.
You know, Vince hated this.
Wonder why he allowed this to happen.
Because JR and Cornette were on the booking team, and they probably had time to fill because the guy did just die. I mean, got a bigger pop than some of the action we've seen on this show.
Yeah, we're just gonna get this like
packages and everything. Okay.
Yeah, Gene Kineski.
Oh, Kevin Kelly. Hi, Kevin Kelly.
That era, those football player guys, they all look exactly the same. Every like pose like that too. Like, look, I get like, you know, history, you gotta, you know, pat the back of the things that came before the era that you were in and all. I cannot get into old wrestling like this. I think it's so hokey and boring. When people will be like, oh, you got to talk about the greatest of all time. Why aren't you talking about George Hackenschmidt? I ain't fucking watching that. Sorry, it's not my thing, And you got Sonny out here, too.
Gotta pay Sonny. I bet it does, JR.
Yeah, JR is like, oh man, this is great. And Sonny's like, I don't know who any of these people are.
Hey, you know who that is?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, you can comment on Jack Briscoe, can't you, Vince?
This would be if we were doing a modern pay-per-view like coverage thing. This would be the time frame where I'd be like, all right, let me go get some food. Let me go to the bathroom.
I mean, I imagine it was then as well.
I mean, yeah, this is a point in time when they're not doing a Hall of Fame, really. So
they just gave them randomized plaques.
It's last Hall of Fame class they do until about 2004, I think, was like 96. So
Now do Jerry.
Yeah, they start fighting.
Still wrestling, Dory.
Oh yeah, still, yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah,
he just had an exploding barbed wire death match.
Holy shit!
3 weeks ago.
How old is he now? 108.
82.
Well, I'll put it this way: he's older than Terry was. So,
God damn, good on fucking Dory then.
Well, I'd say either good on Dory, but also, who the fuck allowed him to get back into a wrestling ring of his own?
Good on Dory, shame on whoever booked him. Defeated Gene Kiniski. He's gonna be like, hey, I fucking remember that.
Yeah, gonna have a big fight in the middle of the ring now.
There. You know what helps these guys is that they looked older when they were in their 20s. So it just seems like they've been around forever.
So where's Terry Funk at this point? Is he in WWE, WWF, or is he somewhere else?
He's ECW World Champion at this point.
Right.
Harley Race? Let's talk about the time you tried to take him down. Talk about the gun.
He can't be too far removed from his stint in WCW, right? As Vader's manager.
About a couple years removed.
No.
I mean, he's less than 10 years removed from his run as the King in the WWE. Who the hell's Ric Flair?
So just to remove him. Remove an entire race? Rick, that's crazy.
Look at this handsome Harley Race.
You literally have footage of Harley. Like, you own footage of Harley Race.
Well, I kind of appreciate the fact they're using just the stuff from like his prime period in the NWA rather than, some of the stuff that in his later career in WWF.
Our 5th honoree, our 8th, our 27th honoree is the rest of the pay-per-view.
Oh no, Terry Funk's here. Okay. All right, now Terry's gonna be like I respect him for trying to play it off like he's not about to, come in his company and do moonsaults.
Be Chainsaw Charlie.
Yeah, like.
But he's the ECW World Champion at this point.
I thought he was. I mean, he won it in April. When did he lose it?
That would be quite funny. Like, surely, like Heyman would have tried to get him to come out here wearing the ECW World title if that was happening.
Okay, he lost it to Sabu in that nasty barbed wire match in August. Oh, okay. So he had lost it already. Why are you playing like the aggressive music here?
And what's with this?
Is the camera distorting for you guys as well, or is it?
Yeah, no, it totally is. Yeah.
They want you to know that Terry Funk is hardcore. Goddammit.
It's awful.
Yeah, I can't. I'm not going to believe that was like intentional.
I fully believe that was intentional. You just say ECW Terry Funk.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. We're ending at this one now.
Okay, you're gonna bring out 92-year-old Sam Munchnick, really?
They're bringing out 2 people, so surely it's
a tag team or something, right?
No, they're bringing out Sam Munchnick and Luthez. I think, again, granted, the crowd is being very respectful. Vince hates this.
He signed off on it, though. But yeah, it is kind of weird that they didn't just throw another match on here instead.
Yeah. I mean, it's in your house. That's what they do, so...
That can't possibly still have been true in 1997. The youngest?
The youngest and oldest NWA.
Yeah, champion. But nobody had beaten the record for youngest at that point? That's crazy.
What's the record now?
It's probably... I'd argue it probably is still the record. I don't know anyone younger that's won that title.
Let's see.
I imagine the Tyrus was older, though.
The youngest champion, NWA World Champion, Chris Candido at 22. Oldest is Tim Storm, 51.
Okay.
Wow, okay, so he got both records broken.
So they would have already said that he's not the youngest world champion of all time then. Because surely Chris Candido would have won it a while before that.
I think that they're just like, fuck that era of the NWA. It sounds cooler if they say he's the youngest and oldest.
So Candido won it November 19th, 1994.
Yeah.
Oh, in Cherry Hill. Huh. This is a long segment.
Long segment.
Yes, this started about 52 minutes in. Well, about 53 minutes in, because after the Owen Hart thing, and so yeah, it's been going for over 10 minutes now.
That's pretty cool that the crowd was super respectful, because the crowd today would have been like, what?
Yeah.
What?
All right, fade into black, and we are back right now. Nation of Domination and Doc Hendricks.
Faarooq? This Faarooq versus Austin would have been a good time.
Faarooq had untapped potential for sure.
So it's Owen Hart versus Faarooq. So this is going to be heel versus heel. Yeah.
Yeah, because nobody cares about either of them because they care about what's Austin going to do.
And also it was.
Hold on, they're talking about Pillman for the third time. What the fuck?
Oh, stop going on about it. Now you're promoting it. Now you're promoting his death, let alone not just announcing it.
It's the third time they brought it up, not counting the actual announcement.
Well, because now he's like going through like the police records. Like, who cares about this stuff?
I mean, they're gonna literally interview the wife.
Yeah, but it's like he's I don't know,
he's setting up an angle.
We've been setting up an angle, putting himself in the clear a bit by basically saying, "Oh, there's no foul play involved or anything along those lines." So like, just trying to.
And again, the crowd has no fucking clue. It's just so bizarre.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is well before the times of like social media taking over, so no one would probably know.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, like, you could open the mic, man. Like, you could tell the people in the arena, hey.
But you don't want to get people upset because then they may not cheer as much for what's going on.
Yeah. But it is weird to keep bringing it up instead of being like, we're going to have more information for you later on or tomorrow.
Is that the first instance of an on-roster guy passing away? Is that why he's like,
probably.
There's no, we didn't do it.
It's probably.
I'd be surprised if that was the first time it happened. It just wouldn't be as well documented, and also it's like hard to tell like people that were potentially under contract or not at those sort of times.
And you can see he's like out of it. He's like not.
Yeah, he's not. Yeah, exactly,
there's no like.
He's not playing the crowd at all or anything. Like
he doesn't really want to be there.
Mm-hmm.
No, he's kind of worried about. He's kind of upset about the fact that his friend's dead. That
I know. They referenced it.
Stop talking, Vince. We know he's dead. Stop getting on about it.
I think he's trying. Like, he's trying, and it's just like, stop. It's fucking like, leave it alone. They're like. Yeah, didn't even sell Austin or anything.
No pop for the
glass smashing, yeah.
Oh, he just got the belt with him, okay. Dude.
Getting the crowd out of the sign that just says 316 says. It's like, all right, you tried, kid. You got a little bit of it. There's a sign that just says drunk pointing down. Piss on the foundation.
Piss on the foundation.
Piss on the Hart Foundation. He's very excited during the bell.
Timekeeper looked like Jake the Snake right there.
Austin couldn't open the can.
Wonder what that's reference to.
The cannibal
Probably be a can
pass.
thing. Yeah.
It is such a weird setup to have this be like
God,
heel, and you know.
This is like actually modern day WWE because it's been half an hour since anyone's wrestled.
What's this thing? Hey HBK, show me. I can't read the rest of that.
Did it say God?
It might have been.
All right, lady. I mean,
show me something, God.
There's a man in the like the hard cam side that's got the most tremendous beard. Guys, on the right, just on the right hand side there, I think he's just leaning over talking to someone in front of him.
Right hand side hard cam.
Yeah. Giant white beard.
Oh yeah, I can see him now.
That's the most entertaining I've been in the last like half an hour.
You're right. He just
you know that he gets approached as are you Santa?
You know he says yes.
With Austin next to this Jake the Snake lookalike. Robert the Snake Jacobs.
Love that guy.
I mean, that could be Jake the Snake for all we know. Looks pretty similar to what he looked like when he had the match at Heroes of Wrestling.
Got 22.
Two more guys that we always talk about. If they would have had 2 world titles at the time, probably would have won a world title.
Oh, Owen would have.
Owen for sure. Faarooq, it's still, he might not have, but I think he probably would have.
I think he might have won the title in '94 if they just had 12 pay-per-views, just to give another month to the Brett feud.
I was just curious why he was just like, the price, like that, yeah. Austin is taking the focus off this match as if anybody's focused on the match.
Yeah, it's like
I feel bad. It is Owen and, you know.
Yeah, like they could have a good match, but like maybe don't put this after the whole big long segment of
everybody in the cam is looking over at what Austin's doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like everyone is just looking. Look, all the people there are just looking towards Austin.
Look at the baby. Nothing big ever happens at the Survivor Series.
Survivor Series 97.
Totally
yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you anything that was on that card.
That's all like that. That's like body slam turning into like a crossbody. It doesn't really work if the guy's smaller than.
Right, yeah. It should be more like Owen picking up Faarooq and doing that.
Yeah. Managed it that time.
They're really working the leg. I like that. They're trying to have a match even though nobody in the building cares.
Well, to be fair, one of the participants doesn't really care about this either.
I would say I doubt that they care. Because, I mean, Ron Simmons worked with Tillman as well in WCW. So I'm sure they had some level of a relationship.
Did Owen Hart ever have an official finisher beyond just doing the sharpshooter? Like, I know he used the enziguri for a while as like a go-to. I know he's used the pile driver in one matches with like tons of different, kind of like Brett.
He had the he was kind of like a top rope drop kick kind of guy before the era of the sharpshooter, but after the sharpshooter it was just the sharpshooter.
But that's quite weird that they decided to just do the spine buster spot after like they basically bigged up about how it took Ken Shamrock out, and then just had Owen Hart just kick out of it immediately.
Speaking of finishers,
that was the most impressive. Oh, Jesus Christ! What did you get? He wanted to take the belt off of him.
The Rhino.
If you're wondering why there's no Brett and Owen, it's Brett and Bulldog. It's because they're going to be in the semi-main event. Faarooq, claim that it was all an inside job.
Referee, reverse your decision.
It's conspiracy.
Trying to keep him down. I love that.
I always thought Owen Hart looked like Zabka from Karate Kid.
He really does, now that you...
If they ever did like an Owen Hart story, like film thing, if they would have been able to do that in that time frame, he could have been the person playing him. Loved this move that Brett would do, the figure 4 on the turnbuckle.
Is it? Oh, the Patriot, awesome.
Vader is awesome. 3 out of 4 of the people are awesome in that match. Not Vader at his best, though.
This whole Vader being in like team matches against the Canadians and all, I never liked that era of Vader.
I bet you they asked for it, though, because they're like, fuck, he can work.
Fade to black. Now we are back right now.
Please don't bring up Pillman.
Flag match, oh god.
So why have a flag match if you can pin or submit?
My guess is Bret Hart said fuck that shit.
Yeah. Like a bit, yeah. You can win by catching the flag, or you can win by pinfall or submission,
or any other stipulation that might be mentioned.
Count out disqualification.
Oh, good.
Oh my god, is this Los Boricuas?
It's the Ruthless.
Oh my god! Is this can't ever get good.
The main event. The main event.
Yeah, but why are we trudging through so much shit for this? Like, in a way, it makes me appreciate what I mean, I can't watch WWE shows nowadays, but like, I would have stopped watching immediately if this was what was on TV now.
If they would have never evolved, then everybody would have stopped watching. Because even back then, when I'm like, I don't know all the stuff that would come in the future. When Los Barriquas came out, I was like, I don't fucking care about this,
It's insane that they hired this.
Oh, they're going to wrestle DOA as well. I don't know if I can take this.
Are they really? Oh, they really are.
Okay, Callum's a little more ahead of us now, probably because of all the different commercial breaks.
Yeah, DOA hasn't even come out yet for me. Now you could see.
Oh, them. I just assumed it was DOA. So. I didn't know it was DOA. I just said, "Oh my god, they're going to face DOA, aren't they?" And like,
wait, is this like 8-man tag?
Who the fuck could care about this stuff?
Well, I mean, do you hear the crowd?
No, I can't. That's the point.
Yeah, because nobody cares.
Now, I get where they were going with this. Like, I understand why they were like, let's give Crush his own group and let's make them all like bikers, because we can have multiple bikers, and
did they find these people specifically for this?
Oh, I think they found them for it. But I think that they were like, let's give him a biker gang, because that's like a type of gimmick that we can go with. And I mean, it's very clearly like it's gang warfare. They were doing that. They're not mincing words here, but like, I see where they would have gone with like, let's try to give Crush his own group, and let's try to make him, an upper mid card stable leader. But it was never good.
So I'm trying to get. So I know I know DOA is like obviously Crush, and it's Ron Don Harris. And is that? I'm trying to think of the other guy.
Chains.
Yeah, is that fake Undertaker?
Yeah,
that is fake Undertaker.
Yeah, it's Undertaker.
I'm trying to think what his real name was.
Yeah,
Brian
I wonder
Lee.
if they had them all under contract, but they couldn't have because Brian Lee went to ECW, and so did the Harrises.
Now I always forget: is Brian Lee Wrath or is he Mortis? He's Wrath.
He's neither.
Right?
He's neither.
Yeah.
Wait. No, because Adam Bomb and okay.
Adam Bomb and Rush.
Was it?
Wait, no, Mortis was
it's Canyon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Canyon.
Sorry, I was
who better than Mortis? But I can't. Outside of Savio Vega, I don't know who any of the Los Barriquas are.
Right, and I'm wondering if it's like, hey Savio, bring in some guys from Puerto Rico, and we'll like pay them on a per night deal, or
probably.
I think there's been a power slam in every match I've seen. There's been so far, outside of the mismatch.
It's the '97 Super Kick.
Also, clearly one of the guys in Los Barriquas didn't get the memo about the white shirts.
He's talking about.
My God, the Pillman thing again.
What the something happened to Pyron Pillman?
He's talking about how it makes Stone Cold feel. Like, it's weird. To be fair, like, in '99, everybody talked about Owen, right? That's a little easier. When Vince is the only one constantly going, by the way, Brian Pillman's dead, okay? It's very strange.
Oh, they're talking about Marlena as well about this stuff. It's like but now they're bringing the storyline into it. Like, who cares at this point? Like, oh, what happened to Marlena? It's like, I know they're gonna add to the story that she's dead too, or she's been hidden somewhere. And
Well, no, what we got instead was Goldust on a leash with a ball gag.
I could not tell you the name of the other 3 members of Los Periquos.
No.
I believe it's Miguel Perez. One of them starts
Estrada. With an E, right? Yeah, Estrada.
Don't worry, by the way, guys. All we have left after this is Bret and Bulldog against Vader and Patriot, and then Hell in a Cell.
I'm surprised that Los Periquos are the heels in this match. Or is it just a case of no one's baby faces in this promotion. It feels like there's the Road Warriors, and then there's Stone Cold and The Undertaker, and that's about it, really.
Honestly, for this specific card, that's kind of the vibe they're giving.
Pretty much. I mean, Headbangers are supposed to be baby faces.
Yeah, they were kind of baby face.
But they're baby faces in that, I could see why you would boo them kind of way.
Yeah, well, they're baby faces in that, who cares, really, that kind of baby face.
Oh, God. I can see Savio getting cheered over any other person in this match.
He can actually do cool stuff.
Again, this is the part where I go, and I say the same thing about nowadays WWE. They're very misleading. Yes, the company is super over and they're breaking records and all that. But just like right now, where you're watching the actual show and you're like, is this the super popular WWF?
It's just like they've got popular people because they've got Stone Cold and he's getting over at this point, and Bret Hart's and the Hart Foundation are over, and Shawn Michaels is over, and all those other.
And Undertaker's over.
Yeah, so you've got a really stacked top card, and then when you hit the 99 2000 period, then the mid card starts to get really good in WWF. They start having great matches underneath, but right now it's literally just okay. You've got some really good names right at the top, and then just nothing.
Right, and that's kind of how I feel about right now, where it's like, all right, Cody's over, Roman's over, and you've got a few people with nice catchphrases like, LA Knight and Jey Uso, but if you really dissect the shows, is it super over?
I mean, these days, though, we've got people that are way better all across the card.
It's much easier. Well, I say much easier, but there's more people that have the ability to get over based on their in-ring ability. Whereas at this point in time, they're so limited.
Promo-wise, too, this spot on this card compared to where it would be Sheamus versus Pete Dunne. I'll pick Sheamus and Pete Dunne both in the ring and feud-wise than any of this crap. Or even when you go to the teams and stuff, Los Periquos versus LWO, hell, give me LWO versus anybody. So it's way better now across the board from that kind of balance. It's just a matter of now we've seen so many other things and everything's been done before. So when you get people that would, if you transport I would say about 85%, if not more, of the rosters, if you transport them to this era, they're instantly way more over. And I'd even apply that to lower, not to, this isn't to say anything bad about them, but for some reason, the first person that popped in my mind is Channing Lorenzo. You put Stacks where he's at right now in NXT, and you put him in this era of WWF, he's already better than anybody that's in the ring right now.
Yeah, but is that good? You know what I mean? Or does it just balance itself out? where it's like, okay, he's better in the ring, but does that mean you want to sit down and watch a Channing Lorenzo match?
Well, now I'm oversaturated enough that doesn't mean as much.
Maybe at this moment you would like to watch a Channing Lorenzo match.
But if we were only getting, 1 hour a week or 2 hours a week from Monday Night Raw or whatever, instead of getting like 9 hours and then with all the AEW stuff on top of that.
Is Black Shirt Guy gonna get the win? I thought Black Shirt Guy was gonna win for a second. And reverse. Yeah.
Total World Backbreaker is the finish.
What a pop. I think they're just excited it's over.
Always hated the Hart punch.
Well, the backbreaker is just literally his demolition move.
Why are we zooming into this woman?
I don't know.
We'll find someone that's excited.
I mean, to be fair, if somebody did that to me, I ain't fucking getting up.
I'm totally fine with that being a finish because like he's a big guy and on a lot smaller guy doing it. So,
I mean, have you taken a full breath today, Tony?
Oh, you asked that while I was yawning, but it wasn't a full breath yawn. So, Davey Boy's just like, look at my muscle.
This feels like it didn't happen. Michael Cole interviewing Brett feels like 2 different eras, but I like it.
I hate those glasses.
Howard Stern looking ass.
Yeah, wow.
I get to see all the production crew.
Yeah, I was looking at that too.
Why aren't you the Canadian Bulldog? Okay.
really helping out in that promo.
He was such a terrible promo as well.
Here in St. Louis.
We're here because we're here, but sometimes we're not. Right now we are. Look at this winner on the right.
Please don't talk about Brian Pillman again.
Are they gonna cheer when the American flag goes up?
Also, in this era,
yeah, that's our flag.
In this era, they're like still setting this up in the ring.
I know.
Modern era, they would have had that snappy, Still one of my absolute favorite themes of all time. So good.
They really did not want to do that flag bullshit. I don't blame them, but like it's so funny.
I wonder why. Power PB13. What?
Okay, you should have called. You should call Bulldog first.
Yeah.
Brett.
We'll also mention the fact that he's a WWF champion as well.
Yep.
Yeah, they didn't do that. I was gonna ask where's the European title, but I know where it is.
Boo, boo, I don't like Canadians, boo.
Vader rules.
Vader time.
Where are you looking, bro?
Yeah, dude, he is full on disassociating.
Hell yeah! Hell yeah!
All right, give him the belt.
Yeah.
Man, it's such a shame he didn't get inducted in the Hall of Fame when he was still alive.
Hell yeah! See, the show is like 10 times better. It's Austin, these four, and then the main event.
Undertaker will get caned.
God, this is the most underwhelming theme of all time in this context. It's just like you expect so much for a modern fan, and then you hear this, and then this guy comes out.
Oh, he's excited.
Loved this theme even when it was on the Patriot and Sergeant Slaughter for a little bit. I'm glad that they repurposed it for Angle. They should do that more often.
I don't think you can now.
They do it every once in a while. It's very rare.
That was basically like the Divas division for 10 years, where they just rotate the same theme to different people.
That one sucks though, because those themes were terrible. So it was like, why are you repurposing these bad ones? Like, I hated that one that Layla and Tiffany and I forget who else used, where it's like, I need a boy and like whatever. I'm insatiable. I can't get enough. I need a boy to fuck me or something. Like, you know.
I mean, if rumors is believed, they'll be moving over to licensed music soon. So,
yeah, I'm curious how that's going to actually work out.
I imagine they'll pay artists and they'll get the music.
Yeah,
no, I mean, like how many people are actually going to be getting themes, or if they're just going to do that for like a few rare instances, like you know, like CM Punk, of course, called personality, and like they paid for Ronda Rousey to have her theme, and you know, are they going to do that when it comes to like, mid-carders, or this is just going to be few main eventers?
I imagine it'll just be the top order people for the most part.
Do you think they changed the rules of the match because they didn't want Vader constantly climbing the ropes?
Vader didn't want to be constantly climbing the ropes.
It would make sense to me.
Maybe they'd be worried that Bulldog wasn't be coherent enough to climb up.
I think after that promo, I would agree. Like,
Hitman, I'm fucked.
Maybe that's it. Maybe they just wanted to use the flags as weapons.
No,
they still.
Well, it was always going to be no DQ.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe they just wanted to use the flags as weapons. It's just a sign that says ass. That's it. Just ass.
That's fine. We get to do a bit of walk and brawl. That's all good.
I like it. More fun than anything else I could have imagined.
Everybody knows when you hit somebody with a stick like that, the best thing to do right afterward is to just drop it.
They never did a one-on-one program, these two. They had a couple matches, but they never did a world title feud or something.
There's a sign that says Brett does Owen.
Wow, incest.
See?
Double T. No, that's Double T. It's not the same Brett.
Yeah.
Different guy. Okay.
Yeah, it's the same Brett that screwed Brett.
Get the flag! What are you doing?
Yeah, why aren't they grabbing the flag? Well, I guess the match hasn't started yet.
Well, the bell's gone now, so now they
have no reason not to. Yeah, grab the flag, guys.
Thank you, Lawler. Go up and grab the flag. The bell rang. Get the flag. Booked.
Yeah, this makes no sense.
Yeah. Well, Yeah.
Thank you for fixing the ring. Good guy Davy Boy just being like, I'll clean up after myself.
He's telling the fans, I'm fucked.
Oh, now they're going for it. God, as soon as that happened.
Yeah, that makes no sense at all. There's a sign that says Vince, bring back Jesse Ventura.
And Triple H will instead.
Yeah, wait 30 years.
Yeah. To be fair, like, he did come back a few times between this. He
Yeah.
came back in 99 for SummerSlam. So.
Year and a half.
Oh, yeah, 2.
I ain't got time to bleed.
I don't think they're like standing as well on the ropes, even though like no DQ or anything like that. So, like... guys, they were hitting each other with flags earlier. Like, there's clearly not.
Well, the bell didn't ring at that point.
Yeah, but they can't. But they said like DQ isn't one of the rules in this thing.
Yeah, it's pin submission or grab the flag.
Yeah, but the rules have been modified for whatever the rules are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god! Jesus Christ!
And like stupid kid me was like still buying in the idea that like Patriot could end up winning that title. I mean, he is doing the big American versus Canadian thing, and it's like, yeah, Patriot was never gonna win this title.
But he also just disappears.
Yeah,
he comes in for a main event angle and then just disappears.
Yeah, it's strange. And you would think that they would at least try to maybe put somebody else under the Patriot mask.
Well, no, like that was his thing.
Like he owned the gimmick?
Tom Brady took it on the independents.
Right.
And in his last interview, Del Wilkes said he would like to punch Tom Brady in the mouth. Because he never asked him for it.
Yeah. But still, you would think that they would have tried to do that with the Patriot. Tom Brady, of course, didn't end up amounting to anything either.
Sincerely.
One of the first people that I had met was Tom Brady when on the pro wrestling side of things, at least. I mean,
was
obviously.
It Johnny Gunn?
No, he was Tom Brady.
Oh. Or Tommy Gunn, not Johnny Gunn.
It was after he had already been fired from WWF. That was I wonder if I could find that. I highly doubt I could find that. I'm going to take a look on Cage Match, though, and see if I can find where that was. Because pretty sure it was Tom Brady against Sandman.
That was definitely a low blow.
Yeah, you punched him in the balls. Yeah.
Nah, it's not popping up. Ample-sized posterior.
You got a big ass, Jim.
That's so funny because, like, what, 6 months from this, it'd be like, look at that ass. He's got a big. I think it's 6 months from this, the Vader's doing the whole so fat.
It's quite a bit more of a match now.
Hasn't been so far, but now in the matches. Now it's very much match. Clinging onto it like a spider monkey.
What the hell happened there? Did he fall? Like,
He just didn't want to fall on his back that hard, so he just like.
I'm telling you, we're working. Oh God.
Oh.
Oh, that was also a ginger little fall there.
They're working lights in your house.
By the way, there's still an hour left in this show. How much time did they get the Hell in a Cell?
Dude, I'm surprised it's like 1 hour left. It feels like a whole week has passed since the show started.
Oh shit, Brett is here. Oh look, Lawler just said that he was too fat to climb the pole.
Yeah, that was really badly executed that time. For the X-Men's execution, that was very bad execution.
Yeah, and he hit his head. Same thing he talks about with Goldberg. That just happened right there.
Yeah, what you don't know is that Goldberg was lying in the mat there.
Yeah, Goldberg is under the mat. Like Bret Hart. Oh shit, is this just the end of the match?
It might be.
No, they just have him escape it.
Nobody's done that. Like, oh, that's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sure Brett chewed him out for that one. Oh, it's gonna try and climb up over. Oh, that was a bit of a bump.
Yeah.
No, Brett liked being a heel, I think.
Yeah, I mean, change of pace.
That's a crazy thing for Vince. That's a crazy thing for Vince to say. Oh, this match is a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
No, what the fuck? You're like...
No, we put this together and thought, fuck.
Yeah. That's a good thing that they bothered to do that tag in this no DQ match, right?
Mm. That kind of reminds me of the finish from SmackDown this week. The Naomi and Bailey and Nia Jax. Basically they're all in the ropes at the same time.
God, that was awful.
Yeah.
And for that to be the big finish and the big, like, gotcha moment of the whole thing, too.
Mm. I remember seeing the clip of it. I saw the clip of it first time and just like, oh, he must have carried to like 4 or 5 there because there's like, because they've been in that position for quite a while.
And it's like, it fundamentally doesn't make any sense because it's like, yeah, only one of them is legal. So that person got the pin. And they should know, and they shouldn't bother to do this Bailey and Naomi thing, but, you know, it's what it is.
Or, hear me out here. It's not like triple threat matches don't exist.
Right. I mean, I'm assuming Bailey and Naomi end up having some kind of a, double DQ count out BS type thing. No contest with Nia and Tiffany. And then it ends up being, you know what? You're going to have a triple threat. Oh my God. That's never happened in the 500 years of pro wrestling's been around with the same rules. Dog. Does it say bull on the front? Yep.
It does,
okay,
yeah.
good. At least it does that instead of just dog. But his boots just say dog, right?
The right one says dog. Yeah, they both say dog.
So he's bulldog, dog, dog.
Bulldog, dog, dog.
Bulldog, dog, dog. The British bulldog, dog, dog. Davey Boy Smith. Talk about a lack of progress. He never became Davey Man Smith.
He really never did.
Yeah, never grew up. Please call me Davey Boy. David Man is my father.
That's a really bad joke.
I mean, he is Davey Boy. Well, there's Davey Boy Smith Jr. now as well.
Yeah.
So.
And he was David Hart Smith.
Yeah, D.H. Smith.
I always thought David Hart Smith was a great name.
I was so convinced when...
That's definitely in the dick as well.
I was so convinced that they were going to end up being such a big team.
Yeah, me too.
Smith and a kid.
When they first did the Usos versus
the
Hart Dynasty, I was like, oh my God, this will be great for me. It wasn't.
Same with Natalya and Tamina being part of that. It was like, oh, Tamina's big and she's Snuka's daughter and Natty's Neidhart's daughter. Like, this is all going to be some amazing shit.
In hindsight, though, you should see it coming because a Neidhart Snuka match isn't something I'm running to watch.
True.
This could be a worse figure 4, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's funny how many people use the figure 4.
Which is like one of those legendary submission moves, so it's like... It's one that gets a reaction because of who popularized it.
Who's the number 2 that you guys think of? Because obviously Flair is who you think of first, but...
Flair technically didn't do it first.
Nah, but I mean, like, he's the one that's... If somebody's going to say figure 4, they're going to picture Ric Flair doing it.
I picture Jarrett.
I picture Jarrett, too.
I'd probably go Charlotte, probably.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's figure 8 in my book.
She still does figure 4.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it starts...
But then I put Brett at number 3.
Even though I always imagined, like, Shawn Michaels used to do figure 4 quite a lot as well, so...
Triple H started to do it, and... I mean, The Miz and Dolph Ziggler, and...
I never think of them, even though he did do it as a finisher for a while.
You know, many people do it as a finisher these days. Yeah, the only person I know that kind of does it as a finisher nowadays is Mina Shirakawa. It does a figure 4 as a finisher.
I wouldn't mind seeing somebody adopt it.
Who'd be a good option for that?
Jeff Jarrett.
I mean,
the young upstart.
Yeah. Oh, what if Hangman Page beats him with the figure 4? Then you could have it as that could be a submission finisher.
I'd be down for that. That'd be cool.
I would absolutely love that.
Give him the buckshot for when he wants to hit an explosive move. Get him the dead eye for when he wants to set that up, and the figure 4 for a submission. Yeah, I like that idea.
They gave them a lot of time.
Way too much time.
I think that's the argument of the whole card right now.
The thing that always just like flows me about this is like I know that obviously at this point in time there's more just calling the action in the ring, all stuff, but it just feels so unstructured. Like, just feels like they're just all just doing things and just getting in at random times and just
there's like, no story to it really. There's no flow.
Yeah, it's not like it doesn't have beats to it. It's just like things happen until the finish. Or is it? Yeah, because he's gone for the wrong flag. Oh my god!
He landed on his feet.
That's unbelievable.
He rules. Look at this fucking guy. Landed on his feet.
I can't believe that is the guy that criticised Will Ospreay for doing stuff that he did with Ricochet. He just landed on his feet off a moonsault.
Bulldog's making an adjustment, all right.
So
Vince's commentary is so bland and generic, but it works for this era.
I think this is you can feel it aging out though. Like,
oh yeah, he even sounds old timey in '97,
where he's just like, I don't know what's going on, but what a maneuver! Like, that was a maneuver.
Go break the flag. In this.
So Triple H is like, hey, I decided to go back and rewatch that Bad Blood pay-per-view. We should do...
These aren't the ones that he watched.
This wasn't the one he watched. He watched himself and Shawn Michaels.
Yeah. No, I'm joking, though, that like he goes, oh, I watched that Bad Blood thing. Maybe we should put the world champion in a tag team match.
Oh, yeah. You got that, yeah.
Oh, yes. I thought you were talking about
I like that he pats the bell down. Like, good bell.
I could see Gunther and Kaiser against Sammy and Kevin if they would just let Kevin do with Sammy.
What they got? Oh, so they've got their 5 matches already, so I guess that's it for them. For this year's edition.
But I mean, it is kind of funny that it's like,
put him in the sharpshooter and end this match. Like
this Bad Blood has the world champion in a tag team match as the second to last match of the card, and then a Hell in a Cell match, and we're gonna get the same thing this year.
What? It's like Paige just like laying out the ropes.
End the match, bro. Sharpshooter.
Oh god, how long has this been going? I was annoyed that there hadn't been any action for a while. I was kind of like missing the time where there wasn't any wrestling happening.
You know, okay, jokes aside about the whole, like, they keep going back to Pillman. I know it was supposed to be Pillman versus Foley.
Dude, I'm missing them going back to Pillman. I kind of wish he was still talking about it at this point.
But like, Pillman versus Foley, and then there's going to be a Goldust angle after. There's no way that took up so much time in their proposed card that they just don't know what they're doing.
Well, that was just replacing the mini match. They totally intended for this match to be this long.
That's insane. Oh, the Uncle Slam.
Well, that's why they put the mini match on, was to take up the time that would have been happening, because that match wasn't exactly short. That was a good solid 10 minutes at least. Oh, fan.
Get
Hope he's insured.
Go home.
The police coming to arrest him as well.
Oh shit! Wait, are they gonna win? There's no way they win.
I have no fucking idea.
They really bring out the forces to deal with that fair.
You know what? I did just get a bunch of messages. Let me check, make sure nothing crazy is going on. Oh my god, no way. Oh my god.
Well.
Oh, that's a bit of a dick move. But to be fair, like, I know how the ties, but like, that's not very like. Well, to be fair, this does look like what Americans would do in this situation.
Yeah. Especially if you're in an area like Philly or, you know.
Is he just like laying on the ropes like that? Like, what the fuck is he doing?
It's still so weird. Why didn't they couldn't just grab the flag?
Well, he grabbed the flag now. He's going home with the American flag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just walking around with an American flag. Like.
There he goes.
I mean, I did like how. I mean, Brett's my number 3 of all time, so of course, yeah. But I did always like how I never really knew when a Bret Hart match would end.
You almost knew it wasn't going to be with the fucking sharpshooter.
Oh my
It's
god.
not about senseless aggression.
Gonna advertise this stuff. I love the fact they were advertising Survivor Series off the back of the Los Boricuas DIY
Yeah, what the fuck?
of Domination.
I remember these dog tags. I remember thinking that they were so fucking cool. Oh, fucking nerd. Extravaganza. Mm.
I love that cage so much.
Missing the dum 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 dum.
They're not. He's not really adding a lot of gravitas to this.
No, it's just sort of it's never happened before anyway.
I don't think he knows what to do. Like,
this is a pretty big apparatus right here. They're getting the flags down just in time. Unless there is.
Yeah.
I just hate that they immediately kill the. I say that Hell in a Cell is like a great gimmick over time, but like it's so annoying. As good as this match ends up being, that they decide to just ruin the gimmick straight away. About saying like, oh, you're in here and you're just completely utterly trapped from all angles. Like, oh, they got out. Oh, there's the European champion.
Hell in a Cell, the best I could tell. You didn't keep up the rhyme.
him shitting on the European title is great.
Yeah, screw that European Championship. Never liked that. Rick Rude being a part of this group never made any sense to me. I mean, it's not a long time that he is. So if you ever say D-Generation X, like, I never think of Rick Rude being a part of it. But
there's still no idea.
I love that that's, and they just cut.
He got that promo time back at some point, didn't he?
Like, ever since, obviously, that Michaels is now, like, just fully bald and kind of embracing it, kind of like you just look back at this and stuff like, wow, his hair was super thin even at this point in time.
Yeah.
Like, it's so obvious, just looking back now, that he was going to go bald eventually.
'96 was probably the last year he had a full head of hair.
Mm.
He really lost that smile, didn't he? That footage is 3 years old here. It looks incredibly older than that.
He fucking wrote this script for Cole to read out.
Russo?
Yeah, it was either Russo or Vince, yeah. Or the other Vince.
I don't think Vince would, write this shit. He'd probably go, all right, hit the button.
And I remember being so conflicted around this era because I'm like, all right, not only is it Brett, Shawn, and Taker, my 3 favorites of all time, all feuding with each other, but none of them are really babyface. Undertaker is easily the biggest babyface out of the 3. But, like,
which
even that,
nuts.
It's like Undertaker really isn't, because he's still, like, fucking Undertaker and all. And not far off from being, like,
Jesus
turning into the whole
Christ.
Ministry of Darkness and stuff.
These
But, like,
unprotected headshots.
Yeah.
That was apparently super controversial.
Dead ass.
No, the whole, yeah, bring your ass out here, when it was known that Undertaker wasn't coming out. And it was like, oh, you're making me look like a pussy here, Shawn.
Mm.
But it's like Mystery Inc. going around.
Like we got to make sure that nobody is under the ring. Wouldn't you have noticed if anybody would have gone to the ring at any point during this entire thing? Or would somebody have been in the underneath from the moment you booked the arena?
No one's under there. Bring the cage down. Okay.
And they're treating it very seriously, which is cool.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, not far off from
the
potential last time.
Not
Yeah.
far off.
Accompany the ring by terrorizing. Why did they give him the European title?
Because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah, for the very specific reason that British Bulldog said on a show in the UK where he's defending it, Shawn Michaels, that he was it like one of his family
sister
members
had cancer.
Yeah, his sister had cancer, and said he was like dedicating the match to him. And Shawn said, "Hey, how about I win that title?"
And wouldn't it be funny that I'd be a Grand Slam champion? I wouldn't all the titles.
Mm.
His entire promo beforehand was, "LOL, I'm the main event. Suck it." Like,
yeah. Yes, fundamentally the reason is Shawn Michaels was a cunt at this point.
but a glorious one though. I would kill for like at least 2 people on the roster to act like this.
I assume they don't have the DX theme yet at this point.
No, that starts the night after Survivor Series, I think. They don't even have the DX name. That comes, I think, a week after this.
It's right around the time that they have that pay-per-view, right?
Well, they have it in December, yeah.
Wonder if they had any other ideas that they were going to call themselves.
The Triple Threat.
That's what the name is going to be for the China.
They say it the whole, when they help him win the European title, they keep calling themselves that. It just doesn't stick.
Well, because they decided to make a match type that, so I guess they couldn't have it as a faction name as well.
Yeah, but then again, Judgment Day was a pay-per-view name, became the, stable.
But it's also good because, like, you couldn't have had, the Outlaws and X-Pac and all that.
Yeah, the Triple Threat Plus.
It would have been quite funny because if they turned the lights on with the cage still lying there, just like cool, just landed on Rick Rude's foot or something.
So good. Like,
there's no better entrance.
There's none. And I like this era because they're not like, it's not completely overdone yet. They're just starting to get to the part where they're dragging it out a bit.
What are they using as lights in the crowd?
Lighters.
That is pretty crazy that they've allowed that to happen.
Oh, that was just a thing at that point.
Yeah, you just bring that shit in, and they didn't pat you down, they didn't check your bags the same way.
And you go to concerts and you light the lighter and see, there it is.
Mm-hmm. Yep. The amount of people that are like, yeah. And I do miss the flash photography bulbs. It's going off like that.
It adds to the ambiance.
Mm-hmm.
I presume the wrestlers are kind of okay with that.
Yeah, I mean,
in there. I mean, we're a few years away from the constant use of the laser pen.
Yeah, that's true. Oh my god, that was such a big thing around that time frame. Everyone had their little the one where you could replace the tip, and it was now it's the shape of a cat or
cat. Yeah, we might have had the same one because I the cat.
It's this is smaller beam. Here's the bigger beam. Here's the one that looks like an alien.
They have a laser pointer on my desk. I don't know why.
You do right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how the thing goes. It's one note the entire time. It's so tight too. The placement of the cell in between the ring ropes, and
I love
apron
that,
and all.
though.
Yeah, Rude being a part of this group really just doesn't make sense to me.
I think it could work because like Rude's whole gimmick was about being kind of like provocative and.
Yeah, but he's wearing a suit and he's not like they needed talkers to, be like a manager that could speak for
Sean
them.
just needed a heavy, and I don't think they were sure they were going to put him with Hunter.
To me, it comes off as if you were to just like nowadays take, I don't know, say like the Judgment Day, and you were like, all right, let's add in there
Carlito?
No, Carlito makes even more sense to me than that. Like, if you were to just be like, let's add a legend in there, so let's give him Hacksaw. Like, it's kind of like, all right, wait, what?
Hey, Hacksaw Jim Duggan was on Team Canada.
That's right.
Always like when Michaels did that.
The big oversells.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny now.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I was gonna say it's funny now that, they had those two classic matches, but at the time, they'd never had like just a straight up match on TV.
Taker
match
and
they had at Ground
HBK?
Zero. Yeah, like Ground Zero ends in a schmaz with everybody having to come out and separate them. There's never just a 1, 2, 3 between these two until they have the best match in the history of WrestleMania.
Yeah. I was gonna say I wish that Undertaker from like the mid 2000s onward didn't do the singlet. I liked this kind of a.
It's probably a bitch to put on, but like I agree with you completely.
It just took so much away from him when he looked like a normal dude.
Well, that's why I didn't like the American Badass, period.
Yeah, me neither. Like once Taker became Taker again, and then he's wearing gloves that are very clearly just regular like boxing type gloves and MMA gloves and whatever, and he's got a singlet. It's not even like a patterned singlet like Kane. It's just a black singlet. Like you couldn't have worn this little shirt combo thing.
Other than this, it may be just me, especially because I came into wrestling a lot later than you guys did. But it's a case of this Undertaker just looks quite weird to me. Like the hair's way too straight, and like the gear is very like one note, pretty like it's okay, but like to me this just doesn't hold a candle to like the Ministry Undertaker look.
The Ministry Taker look was great.
Ministry Taker's his best look in his worst run.
Yeah,
and I think he looks better with like mid-length hair as well than this. It's just way too long.
Like WrestleMania 20 hair.
No, not that. That was bad.
That's too short.
Yeah, that was too short. I'm thinking more like towards back end where it's very slick back, but that's because like he was very much like bald pretty much at that point. So that I think can kind of work. But maybe like more when he started out, when it was all kind of like wild and orange and
yeah,
he does let the red hair come back for a little bit, which I always thought was good.
It's me. This is just too goth, which I know it's weird to say when it's the Undertaker, but it's like, but he's not. He's macabre, but he's not goth. Because he's supposed to be like a kind of a horror character rather than a moody, depressing character. Like a black rose just hanging in there.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
Undertaker's told some weird stories. He's like, oh wait, I just gotta. Sorry.
I thought that was on my feed.
Storm surge warning. So, Danger of life-threatening flooding. If I die, it's been fun, guys.
If you die, you go out watching a good match, at least.
Yeah.
There's worse ways to go. You could have been watching the Los Pericos match.
I do occasionally think, like, if this was the last match I watched, what would I want it to be? This is a pretty decent last match. I was gonna know what I was gonna watch.
Yeah, I think about that way too often. Too many things about the last song I'll ever hear, the last meal I'll ever eat.
That's why I tried to cut myself off, because I know we can go back and forth on this. But yes, this is a thought I've had a lot.
Remember, everybody, if you want to contribute to our therapy bills on Patreon.
That's hasn't done anything in this whole match so far.
No, that's the beauty of it. He's just getting his comeuppance.
That's cool. Let's say at least it has a story. Like this has a reason to it. Like, well, a smaller guy, and he's pissed off the Undertaker, and the Undertaker's just taking everything out on him.
I'm pretty sure going into this, my thought process was, okay, Undertaker's going to beat Shawn. They're going to establish that he's number one contender. He's going to win the title back from Bret.
Knowing how it plays out, I wonder what WrestleMania 14 would have been if they just wanted to do the Shawn Bret match. Because Shawn and Bret, if you believe what the story is, they were never supposed to be a finish there, and they're supposed to go to Mania again. They tried to build 12, 13, and 14 around the idea of Michaels Bret.
I mean, I can't imagine they would have been able to get 3 full years out of that. Because then what do you do after if there's no finisher?
I think they wouldn't have done 4. They wouldn't have tried to do 14 if they'd have gotten 13.
Because I could see Shawn beats Bret at 12, and then Bret beats Shawn at 13, and then maybe they do, it's 1-1. And we do that on 14
or something.
But in the meantime, like bouncing around and filling in the blank. But yeah, if they would have done Bret and Shawn at 14, I don't know what Taker and Austin and these other guys would have been doing.
Taker still does Kane.
Yeah, Taker probably Kane.
And then
Austin.
I think, honestly, the way I've always thought about it would probably be Austin Rock. IC title.
Because they couldn't have dragged out the Owen thing.
I think you do Austin Rock.
You're kind of like overlooking the fact that WWE has a tendency to drag things out quite a lot.
This is like a classic shot that they reused a bunch of times.
So any time that Michaels doesn't get to like a little bit of offense, the Undertaker's just immediately on top of it. I like it. It's a good story to tell. It's like he's just so focused on drawing Michaels that like literally anything he does to it's like, this isn't gonna work. It's just not your day, little man.
And he is the undead zombie guy, so he should be harder. He's a bigger guy, the taller guy,
I don't like. I again, I know I'm like honing on the Undertaker aesthetic, but that like teardrop thing that he's got on his face is just weird.
That was I wasn't a big fan of that.
Well, he thinks he's killed his brother.
Yeah, so it's the teardrop to represent each murder that you have. Yeah. He's in hell, living in hell right now. Living it up in hell.
Here, right here.
Right here in St. Louis. Like Brian Pillman, by the way, everybody.
Yeah, speaking of Hell in a Cell,
You know, we hope it's not Brian
Pillman is in one of those places right now, and is
Jesus. In a different era, he doesn't go through the car accident. Pillman versus Michaels would have been a fun match. You know, there's a couple of fun matches there that they never got around to.
Jesus Christ. That cell.
Which one? The hell?
No,
Hell in that cell?
The cell in Hell in a Cell.
Do you guys ever call it Hell in the Cell?
So many people do. And they, even recently, I think it was Punk had said Hell in the Cell.
To be fair, it probably should be called that, really, shouldn't it?
Because Hell in a Cell, Hell in the Cell, like.
Yeah, it's like, if it's like Hell in a Cell, it's like, oh, there are multiple cells, and we're just having this match in one of them. Whereas Hell in the Cell, then the cell is kind of like the, it's like the thing. It's like, this is all the universal cell that we use. That was good.
So good, man. Like
that's like something that I'd imagine like an RVD to do in like these sort of matches.
Obviously, like life worked out the way it was supposed to, but I would have loved more matches from this era of Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
I'd obviously love to see the Michaels from this era against a lot of people from nowadays stuff and see what they put together. This Michaels against like modern day Cody or Gunter or Will Ospreay or Kenny Omega or something.
Shawn Michaels against the Sami Zayn.
Yeah, anybody who can make him a heel, you know?
Or babyface Shawn against people. I mean, babyface Shawn against Kevin Owens.
That is the one we decided on for our one more match.
Yep. Prime Shawn against Prime AJ Styles. Just for the pure in-ring, just let's see what you guys do.
That's still the one I want. Like, that was the dream match.
Well, tough. You got Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels and Triple H instead.
Yeah, I know. He was still the best part of that match.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like,
I mean, it wasn't hard, really.
But he was out of the ring for.
Like, holy, there you go.
So good.
Always loved pile drivers.
So good.
Well, it's one of the best believe there.
I like that. They're really setting up the spot that's about to happen. That's something that they just stopped doing completely. Chanting "Rest in Peace" for the Undertaker.
Yeah, they pretty much just started to just go Undertaker, and then that was it.
Cameron's been taking a beating in this one.
Yeah. Is that what happened with Terry Funk?
Yeah, it could have been.
I remember this shot. It's like such a standard. There's nothing really like special about it nowadays, but I remember them showing that and being like, oh, look at how crazy Hell in a Cell was. He jumped off that. It's like, yeah, that has nothing to do with the cell.
It's more effective if you put a hypodermic needle in first.
Still don't quite get why that needle was part of that, but popped me at least.
Yeah, I imagine there's some sort of hidden meaning they just haven't really dived into with the treatment thing.
He just decided to sedate him. Like,
well, I think I imagine he's like calling back to maybe something to do with like, because I know you referenced like his childhood and stuff like that. So maybe he's making some sort of like veiled remark about him being a drug addict or something. I don't know. Or
it could just be Tony Khan or them being like, be a fun spot.
Yeah. It could very easily just be, hey, stick a needle in his mouth. So after all the stuff you've done in the build up to this is where you decide to draw the line in no chair shot.
I hit him in the face. Well, I guess because the only one you're gonna see is fucking nasty. Like, that's one of the best chair shots I've ever seen. The one that's coming up in this match.
Is he locked up in there? Yes.
Almost.
Well, it's just like, yep.
Almost, maybe not. No. Undertaker's fighting it. There you go, Sean. There you go.
Andre the Giant was the king of doing this. Like whenever he would like get hit by
because Andre could just do it himself. He just
just to like be perfectly hung up immediately afterwards.
And boot.
Pow, right in the kisser.
Oh god, these cameramen are getting knocked all over the place.
Yeah. And I think that's the one that opens the door. Yep. Pop quiz. Do you know who the cameraman is?
Should I know?
Would
I know who he is?
You will when I say it.
They're not really showing his face.
Is it Too Cold Scorpio?
It is. It's Flash Funk.
Yeah. No, it's Too Cold Scorpio.
Well,
I do not acknowledge that. No. To be fair, I was looking around and feeling like these cameramen look like they're pretty big. But I feel like they put like like wrestlers in there because like they were planning on them getting collided into.
He's doing good.
It's gonna be a lawsuit here.
Oh, look, yeah.
The family of that young cameraman. Did you need to specify that young cameraman?
I love this. Look at that. Get help. Get help. Yeah, that dude's huge. That's no regular cameraman.
Yeah. It's like, look at the size of his arms.
You're talking about that's an average young cameraman.
To be fair, he has to be like strong to hold the camera up all the time.
Yeah, I mean those cameras were huge back then.
That's a far jump.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Landed that with no problem, yeah.
Pretty much always the case for Sean. He's like, I'll do it. And then you're like, shit, he did.
I don't like the way that Vince is pronouncing cameraman.
Cameraman.
Yeah.
This unfortunate young cameraman.
It's one of those weird things he gets like a bug in his ass about. Like, No, damn it, it's cameraman. Like, Scorpio doing a great job not showing. Oh my god.
No cell finisher. Yeah, no sell the finisher. You know, but only Will Ospreay does that. Only Will Ospreay ever does that.
Oh, he's down again. That young cameraman. Ooh. So good.
Classic shot again.
Is he bleeding already?
I don't know how he managed to blade himself that quickly.
That must have been right as like Taker was swinging him around.
Yeah. Yeah, because that's absolutely because he was bleeding before he hit the cage.
Yeah. Great visual coming up. Fantastic visual.
Yep.
By the way, Shawn Michaels' first time bleeding. I think his only time doing a major blade job like this in his career until much, much later.
I was gonna say, I can only really recall like Shawn Michaels in big time matches in the second half of his career blading a lot.
Yeah, once he came back, he just was like all the time.
Yeah, you got the Royal Rumble stuff. You got the Jericho stuff.
Like, multiple matches against Triple H, bleeding, and like the
WrestleMania match. He's caught up at WrestleMania 20.
Oh Jesus, that the last man standing match he has with Triple H on Raw. Just like how much his face is covered in blood that entire match is crazy.
And then the Jericho one is the one that supposedly was like so bad that they made them stop doing it.
Mm.
But of course, once he came back, I think Flair was making the blades for everybody. So.
Mm.
And this at the time just being like, there's a roof on there, so oh my god, they're going on the roof.
The place
Check out the roof.
Yeah, now they're terrified, and but in a good way.
I mean, this shit had never been seen before. The blood splatters,
yeah, on the camera, yeah, that's crazy. That's such, yeah, you can see why this is like such a spectacle.
Think that they're gonna go up to the top of the roof, Punk and McIntyre?
I think they should.
Shit.
I think they should.
They're both old school enough that I'm sure that they want to. At least.
I mean, McIntyre's already
wants to. I'll take that bet.
Well, I'm pretty sure that McIntyre said in like the promo on Raw this week that like he's going to make Punk bleed. So they're already threatening there's going to be blood in that match.
Oh, there's going to be a lot of blood in the match for sure.
At least you can show it on WWE.com now.
Imagine him Foley tossing, but it's Shawn Michaels like in that gorilla press. Wow, he knows.
Or just like launching him into the crowd.
Yeah.
And this whole bit coming up here, classic too.
Yeah. And yeah, you gotta give Shawn a little credit because he does stop and kind of put himself a little further down. But it's not like nowadays where they literally have footholds in the cage for people to be able to do this. It takes away from the fun.
Mm-hmm.
And you land on these fucking monitors, jeez.
Fuck that. Dude.
That's got to be the worst part of it.
If anything, that's what broke his fucking back, not the casket.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, look at how much blood that's coming out.
Mm-hmm. Pool of blood.
I'm surprised that he didn't blade that often because he clearly can't do it very well, or he does it too well, arguably. All those papers covered in blood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is definitely like that's one of the worst blood.
Oh.
Well, in terms of like just how much it's bleeding, it's like one of the worst I've ever seen. I mean, nothing really tops the Eddie Guerrero one against JBL from that Judgment Day show, but this is way up there.
You know what, though? This is a great match. Like, the villain just gets what's coming to him, and he does get a few spots in, but, like, Shawn just gets his ass kicked. Oh.
And at this point, this was like the biggest spot that I could ever think of.
Mm.
Well, yeah, somebody just fell from the side of a cage through a table.
I do love the fact that that table just explodes.
Yeah.
And it's not gimmicked either. Like, they weren't doing that yet.
Jesus, blood rushing down his nose.
Wait for it. And they made it a point to lock the door again.
Yeah, which makes you think like, okay, well, that's the big spot. Now we're heading towards the end of this match. Taker's just going to beat HBK, and then it's going to be the end of it. And man, what a fucking great match it already is. They resisted the urge to not have Triple H and
Run to
China
the
and all
ring,
that
yeah,
start attacking Taker when they were outside of the cage.
Oh, shit. I don't know if I recall this.
A giant spinning chokeslam off the top row.
Jesus Christ. And JR just getting that little line in about, like, fuck your cage match. This is crazy.
Old school classic blue.
Love it. Love it. This is the nastiest chair shot ever. And
It's such a...
To be fair, like almost like half the nastiest chair shots I've ever seen delivered have been delivered by the Undertaker.
He does kind of just blast people, doesn't he?
oh,
let's go.
This is so good.
Hit the music. Very Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah.
And is it? I think this is Vince's last show on headset.
Yeah, I think
and it's
so. Yeah,
perfect. It's the best possible call.
And he just rips it off. Like, such a great intro to him.
And Hebner takes a bump because, of course, he does. I love this.
Kane was the fucking man. It's a shame.
How bad things have turned out.
Kane was so fucking cool, though.
We need to feel more comfortable repackaging people like this because nobody's thinking, oh, this is Isaac Yankem.
Well, it's also not the internet era where people would know. I didn't know that it was Isaac Yankem.
And that's fucking, like...
Of course, the one turnbuckle doesn't work, but that's okay. He's, like, trying to find the camera.
Yeah.
I always liked that. I always thought it made him look more powerful. Like, he's fucking moving around with him.
Owen is going to recover and get back in the ring after being thrown into the cage.
Paul Bearer did throw water on him too. Like, get the fuck out.
Imagine if it was that easy. You're just like, man, my back's really killing me today. Can somebody pour some water on me?
But it's also the best referee possible because.
And what a great, that tombstone.
One.
Taker's out for a while,
2. It's so good. And now you have Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Survivor Series. Perfect.
God,
so there's that pool of blood.
Yeah.
And they're going to just drag his ass. This is maybe a masterclass of a wrestling match. It might not be the best sell match, but it's a fantastic story.
Oh yeah, it's the best thing on this show by a country mile.
I mean, yeah, that's
it's a low bar, so it's a great thing.
The best thing of the year. I mean, Austin and Brett, and then this, it's very close.
Which I mean, as I said, this is technically this is the second 5-star match WWE got this year from Wrestling Observer. The last one they get until 2011, I believe.
Which is crazy. You mean to tell me that there's no 5-star match in between that?
Yeah, not Gordon Meltzer, but that's.
I like that Shawn is dead. They're holding his arm up.
He was killed. That chair shot killed him, and so it's just the only reason he won is because he managed to just drag his arm over Undertaker at one point.
Great match. I was just about to utter the words "great show." I had to really think about the rest of the show.
Yeah. I don't think we can say it's a great show just based on one.
That final hour, though, the final hour that they just dedicated to this match was maybe the best thing I've seen.
And I remember back, the next day you meet up with all the people at the playground at school, and you're all like, "Did you see Kane? Oh my God, Kane popped up!" And Kane and Undertaker are going to have a Hell in a Cell match, and it's going to be even bloodier.
I mean, 27 years later, they're still doing Bad Blood. 27 years later, they're doing, Hell in a Cell. They've done 30 of them or 40 of them. I think it's been way more than that, unfortunately.
So yeah, everybody, that is In Your House, Bad Blood, which I would assume, even though we're going to have less matches, that this pay-per-view coming up is going to be overall better than what this was outside of the main event, maybe. But, the in-ring action for the rest of the matches, I'll take Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan over the Los Barricos match. I'll take the Cody and Roman against Solo and Chicken Fatu over the flag match, I'm sure. Different kind of bar, different era. But classic match. And
that really filled me up. It made me kind of happy that we even decided to do this. That match is fantastic.
Now it's we've had many instances before where we've done little bits and pieces of pay-per-views and all. It's very rare that we tend to do an entire pay-per-view because they are long. I mean, this is a 3-hour podcast. But if you really enjoyed this, if you really want us to do more of these in the future, the Pick Your Poison tier is the best way to ensure that happens. And, even if you just leave a comment, you tell us like that, then we also keep all that in mind too, if we try to figure out some other ideas going forward. And I don't have another idea of a Fannounce table to do by the end of the year, at all. It's not on the calendar or anything for what's planned, but it might be worth going back and revisiting an old War Games match or something. So I'd be down for that. Maybe not necessarily in your house, but again, pick your poison. You get to request that if you do. And keep in mind that we do have Bad Blood coming up for the pay-per-view point predictions and post-show and all that stuff coming around next week. In the meantime, we got another episode of the Hot Tags. I'm going to be trying to record the Dark Cast for October sometime around, I don't know if I'm going to get around to it this week or next week. Sometime next week at the very least. And also the Ultimate Halloween Havoc that's going to be published in advance for everybody, and then published where everybody can see that on probably like the 17th, 18th, something along those lines. But we do have plenty of other things to talk about on the modern side of things. We're always interested in going back in time too. Whatever you guys want, you let us know, and we'll try to keep all that in mind. But leave your comments below about this and anything else. Make sure that you hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed, ring that notification bell, join the Patreon or the YouTube channel membership. Hit us up on all the different Linktree things you can find at anthonymango.com or 8mangotree.com for all the Fanboys Anonymous stuff, all the Smark Moment stuff, and all of my other personal stuff outside of that, like Letterboxd and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and all. I never post on Instagram, but hey, if you want to follow me, go ahead and do it. But if you are popping around on those places, make sure you also check out what Rob and Callum are up to on all the different things that they've got.
Yep, check out Fightful.com first and foremost. That's one of the top wrestling news sites in the world. That's where I make the bulk of my money, so support that, of course, but also check out all the other stuff that I've been part of on Fanboys Anonymous through the years. Go back and check out an old fantasy booking, and check out what Callum's got going on too.
You can find me on Twitter at WeightMeister14. Every Saturday, head on over to Smark Moment to check out the Power Rankings, where I rank the WWE superstars based on their prior week's performances. And while you're there, you can also head on over to the Fantasy League, also at WWEFantasyLeague.com, to see how our rosters are doing, who's picking up points, and they're very close battle at the top. Like, there is only about 10 points separating myself and Rob, and Tony's also there. So yeah,
at least I redeemed myself slightly. I'm not doing the worst this year.
No, you're doing the best, actually. You're the one that's ahead out.
Oh, thank God. There you go.
So yeah, just follow that along to see how we do, because Bad Blood it's going to be one of those big point scoring weeks. So yeah, follow that along and see how we're doing as we get to Bad Blood and beyond.
Okie dokie, everybody. That'll do us in for this Fannounce Table, and we will see you next time around with the hot tags of the week on Friday. But until then, adios. We'll see you then. This has been another Smark Out moment, and we are being counted out.